Hello everyone, this is Paragon. A brand new title coming from Epic Games, creators of the Unreal Engine, Gears of War, and many other titles. Now, because this is the Unreal Engine, it certainly looks hyper-realistic, but what exactly is Paragon? Well, Paragon is an actual MOBA in third person, a massive online battle arena, 2 teams, 5 players per team, and lots of mayhem. Now, because this is the familiar MOBA structure, what you will find are 3 lanes, defences at set points along each lane, creeps moving towards each other, and you ultimately being the deal breaker, as it were. You're going to break the deadlock if the opposing team are going to let you. Now, there's a variety of different heroes here, and it is going to be a free-to-play title when it eventually launches. All of the heroes will be available for free by the looks of it, but where they're going to make their money is out of card packs. Now, these cards are basically boosts. When you're actually playing the game, you pick a card, you can then level that card up and you'll get various bonuses for your character during the match. Think of this really as like items. But instead of having an item and then having to find the next item in the list, merging items together to create a better weapon and all of that, they've simplified it around a card system. This should make balancing a little bit easier, if you ask me, long term for the developers. Now, I've played a couple of matches of Paragon, and the combat works really well. Certainly when you get into those team fights where 5 versus 5, it really is absolute mayhem. But having all of your various powers there, the main character I've been playing so far has an awful lot of stuns and slows and contains, basically, to try and slow down the enemy team, stop them in their tracks, or basically wall them in so that we can finish them off inside like a mini arena of sorts. Now, this does work exceptionally well. I do have some slight problems with how fast the movement speed is, but again, your ability to kind of run across the map fairly quickly using the run option is actually quite useful. When it comes down to that combat though, you're going to find that things feels a little bit more like wandering through fudge than it does a fluid movement system at the moment. I'm not sure whether that's something that's going to be changed, and it could very well just be in the characters I've been playing, but it does seem, just looking at the other player movement, speed is not necessarily something that this game is there for. This is really about positioning, dodging and so on more than anything else, not necessarily running circles round your opponent. Now, the heroes are feeling quite nice and varied. The ones they've really been kind of showing off, as it were, during some of the pre-alpha footage are not necessarily the best the game has to offer. There's a nice variety here. They all really feel like they've been ripped out of the Unreal world, as it were, tweaked and then dropped into this one, but it does feel really nice. The animation style is great, as is the texturing on the models. Again, this being the Unreal Engine, it does have that hyper-realistic feel to it. That's not a bad thing. Seeing the game engine running nicely at 60 frames a second on our 970 GPU, with no frame rate drops whatsoever, and it looking this good, is a wonderful thing to see. And it's great that Epic have really embraced their visual style here for this game. Now, if you're interested in getting into Paragon, pick up a Founders Pack. Founders Pack start at around $20 and will get you into the game today. There are other packs available which cost anything up to sort of $50, $60. I don't think it's particularly worth it. This is a long-term, a free-to-play game at the end of the day, with progression that you will have to unlock. The initial $20 buy-in to get into the early beta, that's pretty good, I think, really, for what they're offering here. Ultimately, though, long term, this is about unlocking the content through playing. Wouldn't necessarily recommend dropping cash on the top founder packages there, as it were. It doesn't really quite feel like good value for money, in my opinion. Now, the free-to-play aspect of this game does mean microtransactions, and here they're going to be using a gold system. Buy gold, use it to buy cards. Those cards are then used to buff and upgrade your character during a match. We'll see how exactly that is going to work in practice over the next couple of weeks, whilst I can get a better feel for the game, and how slow the progression, I suppose, is going to be at acquiring these cards yourself. As with all free-to-play games, ultimately the developers have got to make money, and so we can always expect progress to be on the sluggish side. But let's see exactly what Epic have got planned here. My hope is that they won't try and nickel and dime people, and instead they'll create a game where everything is fast and fluid, including building up those credits, but you have enough fun that you want to progress and pick up some additional cards using, well, actual money if you feel like it. We'll see exactly how that works out in practice over time. Now, do please remember to subscribe and like to this video if you'd like to see more of Paragon. I will be running a live stream over the next couple of days, so do keep your eyes open for that. We'll be able to explore the game together, live as it were.